Hey guys, so I know this is not the normal content that I make, but I was scrolling through Reddit and I saw this really interesting lost media in my Iceberg about Rayman, so I wanted to make a video on it. But first things first, I'm going to give credit to Vo_Squidward_2020 on Reddit. He was the one that made this iceberg, and I am just covering what he found. And if you like this kind of content, please go down in the comments and tell me. I would really appreciate it, and I will think about making more. But with all that out of the way, let's get into the Rayman Lost Media Iceberg. So first things first, the video I have playing here is called Rayman's Training. So basically, during the development of the game Rayman 2 The Great Escape, a little short 2-minute and 50-second animated clip was produced featuring the character under the title of Rayman's Training. Despite the film itself being lost, some small clips were later used in advertisements and some promotional material for Rayman's various games. The clips show various scenes such as Rayman gaming on a chair with a large TV, Rayman flying through the sky, Rayman falling through some sort of portal, Rayman in a forested area with a punching bag character. And in 2021, it was speculated that these clips may have shared source since there is many similarities in the environments and character models which are used in them. Following some research, a list of the short film with the potential to be source was discovered on the website of the French National Audiovisual Institute. The page gives various details about the short, revealing that it was originally shown at a film festival in 1998. Unfortunately, the list lacks a synopsis of the short and no video file is publicly available. The DVD for the festival does not contain the short either. Attempts to contact the INA to obtain more details have so far been unsuccessful. Following this finding, a search for the film's title brought only one relevant result: a page from the portfolio of Vox, an audio production studio. While this page does not contain any more info as to the synopsis of the short, a screenshot on the page confirms that it is indeed the source of the clips that were used in the various advertisements and promotional material. And on March 12, 2022, the short film was found within the files of the August 14, 2003 PS2 prototype of Beyond Good and Evil. It's in low quality and has no audio. It only contains scenes in the forested area with the punching bag character and is a minute shorter than listed on the INA website. So it may be the case that there is a version with the extra scenes and promotional material. So I'm going to show some early artwork concept images while we're going through this. So that's what you're about to see, and that's what it is. So basically, Rayman 4, it was an unreleased 3D platform game developed by Ubisoft by Phoenix Studio. Had it not been cancelled, Rayman 4 would have been the first game in the main Rayman series not to be developed by the Ubisoft Montpellier studio. The project had its beginnings in 2005 when concept art was created for various environments and characters. The story is largely unknown, but an early draft may have existed at this point. An unknown amount of programming, modeling, texturing, and special effects creation was carried out during the pre-production of the game. The project was discontinued after 4 months of development. Most of what is known by Phoenix's Rayman 4 comes from early artwork, which has been leaked gradually in the years since the game's cancellation. It depicts much more surreal and colorful environments than those which were seen in the early Rayman Raving Rabbids images and trailers. Many of these Rayman 4 environments were 3D recreations of the areas from the original Rayman game. In May 2006, Ubisoft unveiled Rayman Raving Rabbids. It was a new 3D platform being developed by Ubisoft Montpellier under the direction of the series creator Michael Ansel, I think that's how you say it. There was been much confusion regarding the relationship of these games. Since Rayman 4 was also the working title of Rayman Raving Rabbids, the confusion was furthered by the Game Boy Advance version of Rayman Raving Rabbids, which incorporated the aspects of both cancelled games. But since the cancellation of Phoenix's Rayman 4, it was followed quickly by the development of Ubisoft Montpellier's Rayman 4. There may have been some connection between the two, but this still remains unconfirmed. So, Rayman Garden is a 2001 puzzle mobile game that was developed by Gameloft. It was pre-installed on the Mitsubishi Triumph Eclipse and Mitsubishi M21i, along with Rayman Bowling. The game is a part of the Rayman game series and is the most obscure game in the franchise. The goal of the game is to find all the looms, avoiding obstacles, avoiding monsters, and bad Rayman. The game's after premiering went to obscurity, and almost nobody talks about it for many years. Until July 2018, no footage of the game existed online, and there was only one screenshot available. And on July 28th, 2018, YouTuber user FrameRaider posted gameplay of Rayman Garden. In July 2019, the main world reported that this user, Clawgrip, dumped the ROM of the Mitsubishi Triumph Eclipse MT450 mobile phone, which contains Rayman Garden. However, this ROM is not available to the public. Now, the video I'm showing you right here is gameplay of Rayman Garden that was found. And so you can just see how it all works and all that. But yeah, that's basically it. So for the Rayman Ravings Rabbids TV Party soundtrack, I did my research and I found the entire soundtrack. So I'm not exactly sure, and I don't think this is lost media because this game was released on the Wii, the Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party. So I'm not exactly sure, but I can show you some images of the Rayman Raving Rabbids TV Party, but I do not want to play the music just in case of copyright. But yeah, on to the next one. Okay, so this is Rayman the Animated Series, and I will get into it why it's called My Fair Like Mac. But there's going to be two images that I'm going to show you, and these are the only images that have ever been found or proof of this. But it was called Rayman the Animated Series. It is a series of animated shorts created by Ubisoft in 1999 based on the Rayman adventure game series. Following the success of Rayman 2 The Great Escape, it was meant to be a 26-episode series, but only 4 were completed when it was cancelled mid-series, leaving the 5th episode near to completion. The series was only broadcast in France, Germany, and the Netherlands, but was released on VHS in North America and later on DVD in France. The 5th unfinished episode was to be called My Fair Like Mac, earning much fan speculation about the episode's content. The episode was almost done in production, but was stopped at the last minute. It was unknown if any other footage of this episode exists. Only a couple of poor quality screenshots of the episode being rendered in progress came off of an Emilio 3D graphics fan site. So the port of the SNES Rayman game got canceled, and on the 3rd of July 2017, there was an early ROM that was dumped with a short gameplay segment that I'm showing you right now on screen. And in the ROM, the player can jump and trigger animations, which will also automatically start if the player does not move. The player can also move faster and start an animation with a charging fist. But this is the only gameplay videos that there is, and you can download the dumped ROM online right now if you just search it up. But yeah, that is basically it. Now for the Rayman Origins beta, the only thing I could find was a screenshot from the early version of the game, and it shows Rayman's cut propeller ability and a health bar. But other than that, the rest of the early version of the game is lost media, so yeah. So back in February 18, 2016, Ubisoft released a launch trailer for Rayman Classic. It was a side-scrolling platform video game developed and published by Ubisoft as the first installment of the Rayman series. It was originally released in September 1995 for the Atari, Jaguar, Sega Saturn, and Sony PlayStation. But the reason this is lost media is that this got released in 2016 on iOS and Android, but they took it off and it is no longer available to download at all. So for Rayman 2, I'm going to show some more images about the game, but basically, early in its development, Rayman 2 was intended to be a 2D game, which would have been very similar to the original Rayman in terms of graphics and gameplay. This 2D game would have been released for the Sega Saturn and Sony PlayStation. The game would have had a much stronger similarity to the original game than the final version did. The art style would have remained very similar to that first of the game, as would the gameplay, with few notable additions. The mechanical gameplay was much more accessible and less difficult than the original Rayman game, but it was also needed to be more cerebral. Puzzles would take on a larger role, as seen in the playable lever, which was included with the PlayStation version of the final game. According to one magazine article, the game was due for release in late autumn of 1996. It is unknown exactly how near the game was to completion, but it seems that its music had not been composed when the game was scrapped. However, the magazine's article on the game stated that it's already in a fairly advanced state. Expect to see a preview next month. It was revealed in a Game Fan interview with Rayman 2 producer Pauline Jacqui. When the developer saw Naughty Dog's original Crash Bandicoot game at the 1996 Electronic Entertainment Expo, they became aware of the new gameplay possibilities offered by the 3D platforming genre. This led to the cancellation of the side-scrolling Rayman 2 prototype in favor of the final 3D game. Much of the modeling and rendering work was already done. However, this led to the production of a highly elusive animated short named Rayman's Training. The short was the missing link of the canceled game and the final game. So back in 2005 at the Ubisoft gaming session, there was a Return of Rayman that they announced, and some people say that they was shown a Rayman 4 logo, but there's no screenshots of it at all. I couldn't find anything, and I looked for like an hour, so I don't think it's there, and the only thing I could find was a discussion post about people talking about it, but yeah. So on the Rayman M/Arena website, they credited a band named Ripley for allowing them to use a song named The House of Love, or just House of Love. And the problem was that the song couldn't be found anywhere inside the game files or in the game at all. And this song is just lost media. Like, you cannot find it anywhere. It's unknown. So there was a Java applet game titled Globber, and it was playable on an official Rayman 2 website, but you can't access it anymore. And it was basically like a ripoff of Frogger. You could move up and down, and you had to cross cars and all that. But what's even more interesting is that Globber is a baby Globbox, and one of the many sons of Globbox and Ugly. Globber is not certain to have appeared in any Rayman game. He is mentioned in the Rayman Zone magazine. It states that Globber was originally Globbox's name, and that Globbox passed the name on to his son before renaming himself Globbox. It is possible that Globber is one of the many male baby Globboxes seen in Rayman 2, but this is not necessarily the case. Globbox's choosing of Globber to bear his name suggests that Globber may be special amongst his siblings in some way. But this website for the game, it's no longer accessible, and the only thing you can find is the title screen image of the minigame, which is shown on screen. So the development of this game started in 2010. Ubisoft Montpellier, who also worked on several Rayman and Rabbids games, was in charge of the project. It was meant to be a first-person shooter and survival horror game, and the release was planned for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Although the game was cancelled, a substantial amount of concept art was created. It depicts a post-apocalyptic Earth under attack by extraterrestrial monsters related to the Rabbids. Although they did not originate from the Glade of Dreams, their appearance is also significantly more gruesome, with yellow eyes or no eyes at all, sharp teeth, cold fingers, and a tail like that of a rat. So there was a version for the Atari Jaguar that came out for Rayman, but there was a beta prototype, which I'm showing you the video on screen now. There was a prototype, and there was not much of a difference, but it was an early prototype back before it was released. And you can download it online now. But yeah, that's basically it about that. So this one's a little bit more interesting. So Rayman Raving Rabbids, it was released on a bunch of stuff, and on Amazon there is a listing, and it's still up, for Rayman Raving Rabbids for the Sony PSP, and there's a screenshot for what would be the title, the cover of it, but it was never actually released on the PSP. All there is this Amazon listing for it, and so I'm guessing that they canceled it and didn't want to make a whole new another port, but I don't understand why they would put it on Amazon. But it is very interesting, so I think this is pretty cool. So there was this guy on a forum that was saying that he remembers back in the day when he was a kid that he had a Rayman Merry Christmas screensaver, and some other people said they remembered it too from the official website, but there's no screenshot of it, and all people have is their memories of it, so it's just lost media. So this dude on Reddit mentioned that there was a demo of Rayman Legends that was on browsers back in 2014, so I'm going to read what he says here. There was a Rayman Legends demo that used to run on browsers to promote the game in 2014. I remember playing it. I think it included the first level of Tenzies and Trouble, a level of Toad Story, and Castle Rock. I think it also included skins, but I'm not sure. I tried to look it up on YouTube, and there's no videos. It only showed the regular demos. I also tried looking it up online, and there was only one article at the time. There's nothing about the gameplay besides the fact it's something about 3 levels, meaning it could be what I said. I don't know if there's any way to recover it, but it's been found. Please, someone tell me. I want to relive this nostalgia again. And if you click on that article that he linked, it's this dude in December 11th, 2013 talking about that there was a browser demo. So yeah, I think it's pretty legit, but there's no screenshots or anything of it, and it is totally lost media. So Rayman Adventures, it was a cancelled Rayman video game. Its existence is only known thanks to a teaser trailer dated from the year 2000. It's not confirmed if this title was on the original concept of Rayman 2000 or a different game. Rayman 2000 is a video game in the Rayman series which was ultimately cancelled for reasons unknown. The existence for this project is known through El Historia de Rayman. The book reveals that at the end of 1999, after the release of Rayman 2 and before the development of Rayman 3, a few people worked on a project codenamed Rayman 2000. It was a direct sequel to Rayman 2, still in 3D with towns, streets, buildings attached to trees. This universe, more urban than what Rayman games are used to portraying, was requested by Michael Ansel himself. This scenario was eventually dropped, but some ideas were taken to create the city of Areopolis and Rayman the Animated Series, developed and published in late 1999, and well some scenery from Clearly Forest in Rayman 3. It is not known whether Rayman 2000 has any connection with Rayman Adventures, another Rayman game canceled around the 2000s. So Rayman was supposed to have a 32x port, but the game was cancelled due to the flop of the 32x. But it was going to be about the same stuff and all that from the other ports. But yeah, it got cancelled. So, Lift is a minigame level from the Dreamcast version and the iOS demo of Rayman 2. It was later included in the Rayman Revolution under the name Grab Challenge. In the minigame, Rayman starts on a small platform. Above him is a row of 10 purple looms, and that Rayman must swing on top to get to the top of the level. On the way up, Rayman must collect the 20 red looms to complete the level. In the Dreamcast version, it was made available through a downloadable save file titled LIF that when loaded would transport the player directly to the minigame. Lift is also accessible by standing under a waterfall and pressing the A button 20 to 30 times. In Rayman Revolution, after collecting 50 familiar spirits, Rayman may ask Lai the fairy at Lai's house, Lai's steel, or Lai's cave to take him to the grab challenge. And in the iOS demo, it can be found directly on the main menu. It was oddly not included in the final release. It's not possible to access the game by standing under the waterfall. Alright guys, well that was the Rayman Lost Media Iceberg. I really hope you liked the video. I put a lot of time and effort and research into this. And if you like this kind of content, please let me know down in the comments, and any recommendations on more icebergs or other type of videos, I would greatly appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.